Scooby-Doo and the Truth Behind Mummies by Mark Weakland, illustrated by Scott Neely. Scooby-Doo and the gang were visiting the museum. They were excited to see the new exhibits, but Scooby and Shaggy were nowhere to be found.
"This museum is so big," said Velma. "I hope they didn't get lost."
The quiet was broken when Shaggy and Scooby burst into the room. "Rummy!" barked Scooby. "He thinks he saw a mummy," yelped Shaggy, "in the ancient Egypt room." "Zoinks! Are those creepy mummies alive or dead?" "Oh, they're dead. But legendary mummies, like those in movies, come back from the dead."
"That's true. Even though they're not alive, they shuffle, moan, and chase people."
"Ruh-roh." "Like, how do people become mummies?"
In ancient Egypt, the body of a dead king or queen was washed, prepared, and wrapped in strips of cloth. But a mummy of legend becomes a living monster only if someone curses it, or if it can't stand to be without the person it loves.
"What's under a mummy's wrapping?" "A human body," said Fred. "Ancient Egyptians removed the brain and other internal organs. They left the heart in place. Then the body was dried with a salt called natron and wrapped in linen." "Why?" asked Scooby.
"To prepare it for the afterlife," said Velma. "The brains were removed too," added Daphne. "But in stories or movies, mummies are smart, even without brains." "Then the body was placed in a coffin. Sometimes the coffin was placed into a stone coffin called a sarcophagus," said Velma. "Then the sarcophagus was put into a tomb."
"So, why do legendary mummies want to chase us?"
"Mummies from movies and stories want to rest in peace. They like their cozy, quiet tombs. But treasure hunters and scientists disturb their sleep. This irritates mummies."
"Right, be grouchy." "Where do real mummies come from?"
"Mummies come from countries such as Egypt, Chile, Peru, and China. Ice mummies have been found in the mountains in Italy and Peru." "Mummies in movies usually stumble out of ancient Egyptian pyramids."
"Or any very dry place, even a high mountain cave." "How do we know if a mummy is chasing us?" asked Shaggy nervously. "In movies, mummies often moan," said Fred, "and shuffle their feet." "Groaning and ruffling?" Scooby said.
"And a mummy is wrapped in cloth," said Velma. "That's a dead giveaway."
"Like, do legendary mummies have special powers?" "Yes," said Fred. "In movies and stories, mummies are very strong, and they carry a curse that affects those who disturb them. Sometimes they have special powers, too."
"Some can move objects just by thinking. That's called telekinesis," said Velma. "And some control insects, wind, or sand with their minds," added Daphne.
"Bugs!" yelled Shaggy. "Yuck!" barked Scooby. "How are mummies different than zombies?" "Yeah."
"In some ways, mummies and zombies are the same. In stories and movies, both rise from the grave and are undead creatures. But a mummy's flesh is dry, not rotten like a zombie's."
"And zombies want to eat people's brains. Mummies aren't interested in doing that." "So how can we protect ourselves?"
"Just run in the opposite direction. Fast." "You don't have to worry," said Daphne. Legendary mummies are strong, but they move slowly.
Another way to protect yourself is with fire, said Fred. Mummies catch fire easily because of their wrappings. If you set one on fire, it will be destroyed. Okay, said Scooby. Time for a quiz. What is dead, very strong, and is wrapped in cloth? Rummy!
Some dogs never learn.